How do you correctly pronounce your name?
You pronounce it Heikki. So
Heikki.
think about the fish and add an E at the end.
Oh, I love that.
You get it right.
And you have such a fabulous accent because you are Finnish, aren't you?
That's correct.
So what are you doing on the Isle of Man?
I was offered a job about 6 years ago now. So I was unemployed for a little bit, and I was offered a job here. Came in for a job interview. I was asked to stay for the weekend just to see whether I could actually see myself living on the island. I went to a few pubs, quids in, saw the Last Drags there and a couple of other bands over the weekend, and saw that there's a really great music scene here. So I said, yeah, well, it sounds like looks like a nice place to live in, so why not?
I love that. That's the first thing you wanted to do, was make sure there was a good music scene over here.
Well, that's it. It's very important for me. Yeah.
And well, it's important to you, interestingly, because you from what I've gathered from your notes, so you were playing music when you were very young, and then there was quite a gap, wasn't there? And you've sort of insinuated that it was the Isle of Man that reignited your music, really.
Well, that's correct, yes. I hadn't really played that much. I played very, very infrequently before that. But when I moved in here, I found a bit more time and space for myself, and I started playing a lot more. And obviously going out to see bands, and like I said, it's really, really a marvellous music scene here. Really great bands, very approachable people as well. They're very friendly and welcoming. So I started doing open mic nights and that type of stuff, and then eventually got into writing music again.
And so you play guitar and sing and write, obviously. So when you're doing the open mics, was that kind of your vibe? Was yourself just sing a guitar, and that's what you were doing?
That's it. That's exactly what I was doing, yeah. My wife sings as well, so we did once she moved in here as well. So we've done gigs, acoustic gigs, just her singing, me doing backing vocals and playing the guitar as well.
But then you thought, do you know what? I'm going to get some of this recorded. And so you met up with a certain chap who's sitting beside you, I take it. Is that where the whole recording process began? Was it meeting Phil? Or
Yeah, I had met Phil before in some open mic nights and in some gigs. But I didn't know him that well. I knew who he was and what he does. So
he's one of those reputation precedes him kind of people, isn't he?
That's
so
always a worrying statement.
I knew that he's a really good producer. So
well, thank you.
Based on what he had done in the past and what some friends had told me, so I approached him and said, "Well, I'd like to do an EP, maybe 4 songs. I think we could do something about it." And then we got together, and it was quite an experience for me because, like the first EP that we recorded, it's 30 years in the making. So I had done some recording about 30 years ago, but that's it. So getting back to recording and working with a new producer and so on. So it was a bit of a learning curve, but yeah, it was really interesting and exciting.
And so Phil, when you met Heikki and he kind of came to you and said, I've got some songs, I want to record them, were you very much on board with the whole sort of arrangement and production side of it to sort of contribute, or was it all sort of preformed in Heikki's mind and then you just sort of took it and ran with it, or how did it go?
I think it's fair to say it wasn't exactly preformed. It was.
It is.
We found our feet as we went along, I think, and it turned into, well, for me, a really enjoyable process. It was great fun because it was seeing Heikki get more and more confident and getting more and more of a grip on what we can do with stuff. And I really, apart from the Sonics, I had very little in the involvement in the creative side of it. That was all you. Sorted out some of the drums, did the producery stuff, but that creatively,
it was a really great experience because, I basically normally when I compose, it's the guitar, and then it's normally the music comes first and then the lyrics and the vocals. And I basically had the guitar bits and the vocals, and then we just worked from there. So we recorded the guitar, the vocals. I had frantically tried to get some sort of bass lines sorted out that I could record. And
out in the end.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.